What's happening out there, gym owners? This one's for kind of your clients, right? You could post this video for your clients. Today I want to talk about some gym etiquette and some things I've seen in the last couple weeks or in the last 20 years that continue to irk me, drive me a little bit crazy. Let's make a list of things. 1, gum. Spit it out in a garbage can before you get to the gym, or when you get to the gym you put it in a garbage can. You don't spit it out in the parking lot. All right, when I haven't caught you, but when I do, I'm going to ask you to leave the gym forever. All right, if I find out who you are. All right, spitting gum on our sidewalks, parking lot, and bushes makes you ingrate, and you don't deserve to be a member at Varsity House. So that's 1. 2, bring a freaking towel to the gym. How hard is it to clean up your own sweat? I don't understand that. I mean, it's just if you're training with other people, which we mostly do in groups, okay, bring a freaking towel to the gym, and clean up after yourself. You sweat all over a bench. Do you think a woman or even another man wants to get on the bench with a head full of sweat on it? And we keep, it should not just be the sole responsibility of the gym to provide towels and stuff for you. It's called human etiquette. It's called being polite. It's called having self-awareness, all right, in life, right? A very important trait in life. Number 2, or 3 rather, water bottles, right? Throw them out, for God's sake. Stop leaving floaters. This isn't a college frat party, right? Nobody wants floaters, right? And so bring your water bottle, finish your water, throw it out. Oh, and kids, if you're bringing your sport bottles, the little squirt bottles, and they have those little peel-off tabs, why do you have to throw them on the floor? I don't understand that. Why, when the garbage can is right next to the lockers and right next to the cubbies where you can put all your stuff, why do you have to throw the little tabs on the floor? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get that. It's crazy. Number 4, throwing weights. Unless you're Stan Efferding, right? Mark Bell, or some other freakazoid powerlifter that can lift thousands of pounds, or Big Mike, right? And you're putting a 400-pound log over your head, you shouldn't be throwing anything, all right? Other people's safety are involved. Remember, if you're training in groups or even by yourself, you can break my weights. Did you know that the dumbbells that I have, the York Pros, cost $12,000 for a set? And I just had to replace a 110-pound dumbbell because somebody launched it about 10 feet after doing a set of 5 dumbbell presses. You gotta be kidding me. And that dumbbell was $370. How about that? Should I take that out of your membership? Right? So treat my equipment and our toys as if they were your own. Don't break the toys. All right? Be nice to the toys. All right? Now, I get it. If you're deadlifting 600 pounds and you drop the weight down or whatever it is like that, we can make exceptions. But for the average person coming to the gym, do not throw weights. And do not leave piles of weights laying out after you've used the dumbbell rack. So if you use the 25s, the 35s, the 55s, you know where they should be? Back on the rack, not laying by the bench, okay? After every set, or if you're using them for a couple sets, when you're done, you put them back immediately. That just, makes common sense to me. I think this is number 5. I'm going to lose myself in this rant because there's a lot of them. I can go on probably for 2 hours. When you take weights off of a weight tree or a power rack to use somewhere else, let me give you a little clue. You put those weights back where you got them. So if you took them off of rack 1 or you took them off a weight tree down the other end of the gym and you bring them outside, you know where they go? Back where you got them. Back on the weight tree or back in rack 1 or wherever it is that you took them from. Have some common sense. All right, we set up the gym where we even out all the weights on the racks. We put a certain amount of weights on all the weight trees so that there's even numbers. So when coaches are coaching, they're able to grab the weights that they need wherever they need them in the gym. Okay, so that one side of the gym doesn't have all the weights and then the coaches on the other side have to go running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Well, wait, you know why we have to run around like chickens with our heads cut off? Because when you take weights off the damn racks, you don't put them back on the rack that you got them from, and you don't put them back on the tree where you got them from, and that shit pisses me off. All right, every single day, I have a guy that cleans our gym, and every single day, one of his duties is to reorganize the weights, right? It's just common courtesy. Number 6, spotting, okay? Spotting is part of lifting weights. Lifting as a crew, having training partners, right? Training in groups is part of how we train our athletes, and that's how we train our adults. Spotting requires you to actually pay attention. Shut the hell up. When the person in your rack or in front of you is lifting, you should not be talking to somebody else. You should be focusing on them. All right? It's a safety issue, and it's just called proper weight room etiquette. That person is relying on you to make sure that they're squared up on the bar, that their position is right? And if you've been training for months or years like some of you have, you should know some of the basic cues and clues, which a lot of you don't. Okay? Maybe that's number 7, right? Pay attention. And spot that person and pay attention, right? Give them the courtesy of your time and energy to make sure that they are lifting properly so that they will reciprocate and do the same for you, all right? Because God forbid one day you're squatting and you can't move the weight and they're off in la la land chatting with a group of people and you're getting crushed under the bar, right? And that's a bad day for everybody, including the gym, the people who are involved, right? Nobody wants to get hurt in the gym, all right? Spotting is an art form. Remember, we're a team and we're helping each other out. Pay the hell attention. All right, number 7, pay attention, right? If you've been training for a couple years, I get it. Part of the reason why people like coming to gyms like ours is because we have great coaches and we kind of lay out everything for you. We help you pick your weights. We critique your technique and things like that. But if you've been training for a couple years and you don't know the basic warm-up that we do pretty much every day, there's only like a couple variations of that, and you have no clue what you're doing, right? That's a problem. I mean, that's just a ridiculous, that's an indication of your intent, and that's an indication of your own personality, and it's very hard as a professional coach to look at you as anyone that's taking this seriously, and that you have to expect from us that we're gonna take you seriously, right? And that so how do you expect 110% of my effort when you're giving me 20%, right? And you don't even remember the 10 drills that we've done 50 times in a month, let alone, you've been training for a couple of years, all right? Cell phones, another one. I don't understand what you could be doing that you can't disconnect from an hour to train, and you have to run to your cell phone 40 times in the middle of a training session, or that you leave your ringer on high during training sessions and the ringer's going and going and going and going and going. And to me, at least, if you have to check, look, everybody's busy. There's a lot of moms and dads. You got kids that you got to check in on. I understand that. I totally get it. And I never rag on people for having to run and check their phone. But do it in a way that's tasteful. A, turn your ringer off, right? Or B, just let the coach know, hey, my son is getting to practice. I'm waiting for a phone call. Just make sure he got there okay. Okay, no problem. At least I know. I understand what's happening, right? But if you're one of those people that's constantly running to their phone and stuff like that, and the ringer's always going off, at some point it's going to get aggravating, not only to the people that you're training with, but to the coach, right? Because again, it's just an indicator of your level of intent and how serious you take your training, and then how serious that we're going to take you, right? So if you want us to take you seriously, these are some little things there. Pulling in and out of the parking lot. This is a good one, right? There's a few of you out there that I'm talking to you. We are a sports performance gym. I have literally, yesterday we had over 150 athletes come through the gym. You cannot rip through the parking lot in your giant Suburban, okay, because you're freaking late to your class, because you were busy doing nothing, okay? You got to be easy. Slow it down, pay attention, right? There's kids coming in and out of the gym, right, and other people. Nobody wants to get hit. So here's just a couple tips. I'll go on another rant next time, all right? But gym etiquette's critical, people. Get out there and